You guys were actually had some pretty hot takes before we launched this off, so I'll let you guys talk about this one.
Oh yeah, the ASDA the appeal. Yeah, this is just terrible. Like this is like super anti-capitalistic. Like everybody just keeps ragging on capitalism, but it's the best system we have. Better said, it's like the worst system except for every other system we know.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Like there's probably something better, but we don't know about it. So, but at least we know that some systems that we do know about are not that great. So we do not want them. And this is just looks like it's like the problem is that it's mingling of state power into private business, because it's not like saying like, yeah, these people have the same job, so you need to pay them equally. No, this is two people having different jobs, but you need to pay them equally because they feel bad if they don't, or at least half of them.
Yeah, let's just read the article and we'll dive into this here. So
yeah, Jorick, should you or should I?
Sure.
Okay. Equal pay. ASDA loses appeal in court case. Supermarket giant ASDA has lost an appeal in the latest development in a long-running legal dispute with staff over equal pay. The decision means that lower-paid shop staff, who are mostly women, can compare themselves with higher-paid warehouse workers, who are mostly men. ASDA said it was disappointed with the decision and added it remained confident in its case.
wait a minute. Wait, hold on.
Sorry.
So no. I wanted to. I was gonna let you finish and get to a natural stopping point because I wanted to chime in on this. First, the first sentence.
Mm-hmm.
The decision means that lower paid shop staff, one job, who are mostly women, another point, can compare themselves with higher paid warehouse workers. So shop staff, warehouse workers.
Yep.
Two completely
different jobs.
It's not even a little bit the same. But the problem is like the way the sentence structure is made. Like instead of the difference between warehouse workers and shop staff, they're making difference between men and women.
Right. Yeah.
Like they make a job difference, they turn it into a gender difference, and so they're claiming sexism.
Right.
Pretty much in this sentence. It's like
it's like the gender wage gap, but only one job versus one job.
Yeah, but like if you scroll down a little bit, and it's like there's a hyperlink to what is the gender pay gap.
Right.
So this is basically this is pure propaganda. Well, looking at which news site we're looking at, that's not that strange a thing, but still.
Yeah, like, absolutely.
It's not unexpected from the BBC. The Biased Broadcasting Corporation.
The Biased Broadcasting Corporation.
Well, if it fits.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like those kind of 3-digit or 4-digit, the 4-letter words are like, it's so easy to just add your own words as long as it fits. So it's just.
Absolutely. I think we were at a ruling.
Disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
A ruling over whether the work is of equal value is likely to be in May. Lee Day, which represented the staff, said the judgment was a major step forward in the fair pay battle. Okay, I'm not that great with English names, but that does not seem. I don't know, like this. Yeah, this could be both male and female, but well, it's a staff representative, probably from the union, so you know where his politics lie.
Right.
So something I want to point out is a ruling whether the work is of equal value. So now we're having the government decide what is the value of a job.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rather than the market. Yeah, no, that's trash.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like this is totally not market manipulation at all.
Sounds like communist propaganda, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Continue.
Give me a second. Okay. ASDA said, we are obviously disappointed with the decision, which relates to a preliminary issue of whether jobs in different parts of the business can be compared. It said that it had brought the appeal because it involved complex legal issues which have never been fully tested in the private sector, and we will continue to ensure this case is given the legal scrutiny it deserves. Basically, they're going to throw high-powered lawyers at it.
Great.
Yeah, and like this is the one time I'm actually on the side of the corporation. Like, I do not like corporations. I'm more of a small business person, but still, like this is the government, which I like even less, mingling itself in the private. Like, if this goes through, this is a precedent. Like,
right? Absolutely.
If ASDA loses this, this means that like every job position at what place whatsoever that has lesser paid than another job position of equal marketable skill can suddenly go like, yeah, we want more money. If this ruling goes through, this is gonna destroy the economy. Like, not directly, not fast, but it's gonna happen eventually. Until it's overturned, because this means like you cannot discriminate based on work ethic. You cannot discriminate based on skill. It's like basically it's basically socialist utopia. And you know what I say about utopias?
They're not perfect.
Well, one person's utopia is another person's dystopia.
Yep.
Pretty much. Like there's a lot of things you can say about it. It's basically like it never freaking works.
True.
Yeah, the utopia is just one more bullet away, people.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. The Employment Tribunal first ruled against ASDA in October 2016. Okay, great.
3 years.
Yeah, two and a half.
Two and some change. Two and a good chunk of change.
Yeah, two and a good chunk. It said shop workers who mainly work at checkouts or stacking shelves could compare themselves with staff who work at warehouses. Yeah, no, because at warehouses you usually need to have a license for heavy equipment.
Right.
Those things are not freaking cheap.
No, not at all.
And even then. Go ahead.
Continue. No, you continue. You had.
Okay. And even then, I mean, maybe the people at the warehouse are just better at negotiating for higher pay. Why should that be an issue?
Also, one of the factors you can bring in is that warehouse workers, it is a more dangerous job, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because
more dangerous, more chance for damages. Because if something goes wrong in a warehouse, you're looking at thousands of damages.
Right, thousands of dollars or pounds or whatever currency you use.
Compared to the floor worker who drops like a bottle of oil. Like, it's dangerous. You have heavy equipment. You need more licenses. Like, of course they're gonna earn more.
Right. And the fact that it's like when I see stuff like this, it's like people fail to realize the amount of effort that some of the warehouse workers. There's a reason why these guys get paid more.
Isn't it also like they get different job hours? Like they usually need to start earlier.
Yeah.
Because the stuff needs to be on the store before the shelves.
Right.
So I think it's like an 8 to 4 job instead of a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And the work does not stop until the work is over.
Right.
Exactly. Well, usually same for stores and stocking things. But...
Mm-hmm. True, but I mean, like, if you're, for example, like, I'm not sure if do they count drivers in this, like the truck drivers, or is that something different?
I think the truck drivers would probably be something different. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah, okay.
I hope so.
Yeah.
There's probably like some truck drivers that work in the warehouse because like when like they'll have to take like unload a trailer and then move the trailer out of the way for the other person, like that type of stuff. But
Yeah, possibly.
yeah.
But probably different job description, so it does not apply.
Right.
Okay, I think we need to continue because there's some really nice stuff coming up.
Yeah.
ASDA then appealed against this decision on 10 different grounds.
I think we also mentioned around 10, so...
Yeah, so it's not like we disagree because this reason. No, it's like 10 different reasons why it's terrible.
Boom! We got 10 of them.
Yeah, so basically, like they're now, this news article is just basically saying they lost one of them. So it's like 10% is done.
Right.
Yeah, so, okay, so basically, the article head, like equal pay ASDA loses appeal in court case, is basically saying, yeah, ASDA is screwed.
Well, no.
And then halfway down the article, it's saying like, yeah, we only want like 10% of the case.
No, if you read the next line.
Okay. In August 2017, the Employment Appeal Tribunal ruled all points of the appeal unsuccessful. ASDA then took its case to the Court of Appeal. Just great. Following Thursday's ruling, the Court of Appeal denied ASDA the right to appeal. Right. However, yeah, like, we're not gonna let you appeal this because we don't like you.
Yeah.
Like that, if. However, the BBC understands the supermarket chain intends to apply to the Supreme Court to appeal against the ruling here, and as well they should.
Absolutely, they should
Exactly.
they should fight this tooth and nail. It like.
I'm not that great at economy. Like I did my my high school.
Yeah.
I got a pretty decent mark, but I'm not university or anything. The guys the guys that make the decision at ASDA probably did, so they know how this works, and they know if they lose this, they're screwed. Like
yeah, absolutely.
There's no way they can keep this floating. That's Okay, let's continue from below the picture. There are 3 key stages in an equal pay case. Are the jobs comparable? If the jobs are comparable, are they of equal value? And if they are of equal value, is there a reason why the roles should not be paid equally?
Are the jobs comparable?
No.
No.
No, not really at all. Like,
are they of
I guess we would have to
value?
ask, what do you mean by comparable, right? Like,
like the only way you can compare these jobs is how many hours do you put in, but that's not the be all end all. And the rest is like it's not. Well, yeah, it can be compared, but not in a way that they end up on equal value because you need more. You need more skills for a behind the doors job due to heavy equipment, because like for this bigger chain, if they're moving things behind the doors, it's usually with heavy equipment, like no questions about it. Like the heavy equipment stops the moment it crosses into the floor,
right,
into the shop floor. Before that, it's all heavy equipment. Like if you're not at least 18 and licensed, you could get in legal trouble for operating this vehicle, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's your difference, number one. Like I never heard of somebody getting in legal trouble because they didn't know how their freaking check machine worked.
Right.
Like the checkout. Because like you probably can get in job trouble, but not in legal trouble. Unless you've been coming off the top, but that's not really applicable here. So yeah, this is just like, even if they are comparable, which I doubt, then there is it's certainly not of equal value.
Right.
And even then, like I said, it shouldn't be to the government to decide what is the value of a job. That's really dangerous.
Exactly. Like the only time the government can step in if like the pay for two different people doing the exact same job, doing the exact same hours, and then the pay is different for like this kind of stuff, like on the floor stuff.
Yeah. So how I would envision this is, let's say for example we have two shop floor workers, right?
Yeah.
And they work the same hours, they have the same level of experience, they started at the same time, right? And one is paid more than the other. That that would be enough. I'm like, okay, so why? Explain to me
Yeah.
why this person is paid more when we have all of these factors that are pretty much the same. To me, that's what comparable is, right? Like you compare two people in the same
just instant.
Yeah.
Like the only reason I can think of them not winning this case, if the guy if the jury and judge presiding this case just does not know what it's like to work in this kind of job.
Right.
This just sounds like the difference between theory and practice, in that in theory there is no difference.
Right.
And the guy that decides is the one who only learned the theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like this sounds like the only way you can lose this case as ASDA is if the guy who decides has no idea of how the practice of these kind of jobs ends up. Like no practical experience with either of these jobs. So it's just, if it's purely theoretical, or like if they don't know what the job actually entails, it's just like they only hear what's happening.
I love this part right here. The legal firm said if the four supermarkets lost their cases and were ordered to pay all eligible staff, the cost could be more than £8 billion.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's just basically that's bankruptcy territory.
Yeah.
Like, remind me, like, how much money did the American government give to the banks to in 2008?
Ooh. It's several $billion.
Yeah, exactly. But this is also several $billion. So
Right. Yeah.
we're talking about amounts of money that can bankrupt banks. And now we're added to a supermarket who probably already isn't making that much raw money.
Right.
Yeah.
Like after costs of product, wages, taxes, they probably in the end they don't make that insane amount of money. Like probably
I've
a few
heard
millions.
it's really low, like 5% or something.
Yeah, it's like it's peanuts. Like I think in 2016 was like a 2% return on investment for most things. And the so it's like a few cents on the dollar of investment, and suddenly you take an 8 billion shortfall. Like that destroys a
Yeah.
whole
That
company.
destroys companies.
Yeah, that destroys like this kind of like, yeah, like this destroys mega corporations, not just like this is economy destroying. Like I don't well, actually I do understand why the freaking politicians don't put a stop to this, because they don't understand. Like if only more MPs got elected that had a smattering of economic understanding. It's just like it's not like, okay, if this happens, if ASDA loses, they need to pay 8 billion extra in wages. Well, if everybody makes a claim, but well, people, most of them are going to make a claim, or at least half of them. So ASDA loses money, ASDA thinks like, okay, certain stores are no longer profitable. ASDA closes a store, people lose their jobs. Who wins? Nobody.
No one. Literally
Yeah,
no one.
Like even the people who get those extra wages paid out, it's like it's a short-term win and a long-term loss. Like they're gonna be happy now, and in a year they're like, oh damn, where's my job gone? I can't find anything. I'm not applicable to the job market. I'm screwed, basically. Until finally a new supermarket enters the town and pays them a pound less an hour, and they'll be happy to take it. Now, this sounds like long term everybody loses. Just, and this is why I don't like big government.